What's going on, Dolph fans? It is your boy Dillon, and I got some pretty huge breaking news for you right now. It looks like the Dolphins have made a trade, and it's for the number 3 overall pick. So let me go ahead and tell you what happened, and then I will give you my input. So the Dolphins have traded with the San Francisco 49'ers, and the 49'ers get the 3rd overall pick. The Dolphins, in return, get the 12th overall pick, so they drop 9 spots, a 2021 third-round pick, which is San Francisco's comp pick for Robert Saleh, the Robert Saleh hiring, right, to the New York Jets, and first-round picks in 2022 and 2023. So that is a pretty huge trade, and it is a massive haul by the Dolphins. I'm going to say that unquestionably, this is the best trade that they have executed. Hands down, 100%. And there's absolutely nothing to dislike about it. Having said that, I fully expect them to fuck it up somehow. How? I don't know. But it just kind of, falls into line because they've fucked up pretty much everything they've done to this point. So, but let's, delve into that a little bit deeper. So, as I figured, they were not going to end up having the 3rd overall pick. Now, I was saying that they were going to use that as part of their package for Deshaun Watson. Now, just because they did this and got rid of the 3rd overall pick, and it wasn't part of a Deshaun Watson trade, doesn't mean that they won't still be doing that. In fact, if you think about it, now with these additional first-round picks in the coming years, etc., they have actually even more ammunition than they did, because they still have 2 first-round picks from this year, and now they have 2 first-round picks next year and the year after that. Now, look, if the Dolphins... This will be one major way that the Dolphins can really start to prove me wrong in that, all they do is fuck up. Their evaluations are terrible. They don't know how to make trades, etc., etc. By not being a big spender in free agency, right? Don't go after Deshaun Watson. Don't make one of those big splashy moves in that ways. This big splashy move was a great and a smart way to make a big splashy move. Let's not turn that around and then go get Deshaun Watson, right? Or something along those lines, right? Something to that effect. It looks like I'm bleeding a little bit. I cut myself when I was trimming up my beard, and it looks like I'm bleeding. Anyway, so let's not do that, right? Let's remain frugal in free agency, and then let's hold on to all these picks, man, and fucking, make smart choices in the drafts, because their 2 previous draft classes so far are very much underwhelming, so they need to do a lot better. Now, again, just because they haven't traded for Deshaun Watson doesn't mean that they won't. There's also lots of other things they could do. Obviously, they could end up doing more trades, right? So there's a million ways for this thing to unfold at this point. Anyway, so like I said, this is probably the first time that I can say they've done something that shows legitimate footing for a change in direction from previous, right? So previous things that they've done, right? They were big spenders literally just last offseason. So it's ridiculous to say that this regime just doesn't do that, because they literally did it last year, right? So anyway, they have an opportunity here. I mean, they've had a few opportunities. They've had many opportunities, and they've pretty much fucked them all up to this point. But I'm hopeful. I'm going to try and be hopeful anyway, to the best of my ability, that this is the things that they have done are literally not just a one-time, not just a one-off, but going to be the way that they conduct business going forward, right? So again, don't be big spenders in free agency, just supplement, right? Get the little contracts, the small ones, the low-key contracts that could potentially turn into a bigger return, right? I did like the Will Fuller deal. There was another one I mentioned that I can't think of off the top of my head. A couple of the recent ones were decent, right? Everything else was just kind of low-key. And all the evidence In fact, nothing's really changed. There is still a significant chance that the Dolphins could, in fact, end up trading for Deshaun Watson. Again, they have a ton of draft capital and even more, and they could pull it off. But I hope that they don't. Please, please, please don't do that. Remain frugal and then focus on the draft. Take this renewed, treasure chest of draft capital that you have. 2 picks this year, 2 next year, 2 the year after that in the first round. They have 6 picks in the first round the next 3 years, including this draft. Fucking sit on that. If anything, trade back more, accumulate more capital, so that way you have more shots at guys, young guys with high upside from the draft, instead of fucking reclamation projects from free agency or trades or waiver wires, right? So that's what I want them to do. There is some strong indication that that is what they will do, right? So to be fair, because as of right now, they have yet to actually swing that big trade for Deshaun Watson. Now, it is possible that these lawsuits are really fucking up that entire situation, right? In other words, the Texans might just be stuck with him, and it's possible that nobody else will want him because of it. Now, again, because of my experience with the NFL and the way that they have literally proven to not give a shit about like domestic violence and things like that, and because Deshaun Watson is such a huge star, my guess still is, my base expectation still is, that one, not only will they do everything in their power to make that go away, settle it out of court or whatever, but there will likely also be somebody who will come and get him. Even if the Texans, even if nobody, there were no trade partners for him, and the Texans ended up getting rid of him because Deshaun Watson says, I'm not going to play for you guys, and because, this ends up being a bigger deal, and, like he gets proven guilty or what have you, or it's just a thing that, follows him and causes problems. I'm still pretty sure somebody would end up picking him up at some point, even if it got to that. So we still do have to wait and see how all that plays out in the long run. But I will say, right now, as it stands today, this move is huge. Now, real quick, just to add on to that, the Dolphins still do have to make cap savings moves. So it's not like that. It's not like they're done, making moves, etc. Now, if they're smart, they could set themselves up to replace those players with draft picks, young guys who have a ton of upside, etc., and help, and then build the team properly instead of doing it how they've been doing it, how Stephen Ross historically has done it, and just throw a ton of resources. All right, so you guys get the point. Look, again, just one more time. Right now, as it stands, with nothing to come after this, the Dolphins have done fantastic this offseason. Small low-key signings in free agency. This trade to drop back with the 3rd pick, phenomenal. Keep going on this path, okay? Don't turn around and then do a Deshaun Watson trade or something along those lines, right? All right, with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspectives. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.